Could you imagine what it would be like to live in a world where alcohol and pornography and all these chemical poisons that are manufactured, where none of that stuff existed, where you grow up and you have a piece of land and you build a home and you grow a garden and everyone has planted fruit trees and gardens all over the entire earth. You could wander out into the forest anywhere and pick fruit off a tree and never be hungry. You could see home after home, garden after garden, living in a community with people that care about each other, where love is a way of life, where we build and we create, and we don't create things to destroy ourselves with. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine tomorrow some powerful world leader comes on and he says, we're going to put an end to homelessness. We have hundreds of millions of homes that are empty and unoccupied. And every single one of you that's living on the streets will get a set of keys, and you're going to move. And you're going to move into your new home. You're going to grow a garden. We've got millions of acres of land. Go out and take it. Go out and you build your home and you grow your garden and live your life. Because never again will you have to struggle and strive every day of your life to collect pieces of paper. Never again will you have to struggle and work your life away for worthless fiat. Welcome home. Right? Could you imagine? People lived in tribes and stuff, and for centuries. There's even still tribes out there, like old school tribes that still exist today in the world, and those people may be missing some things, but they live free. You know, they hunt, they fish, and they farm, and they have homes. Could you imagine, with all the resources we have in the Western world and in lots of places around the world, have you ever seen how the impoverished people live in places, like over in Africa and stuff like that? They have these, and Jamaica and things like that. There's entire villages and places where there's these shanty shacks, and people build houses out of mud, out of whatever they can get, pieces of corrugated aluminum, tin, mud, sticks, whatever, right? Could you imagine just how can easily in the Western world, with all the resources that we have here, how easily, even if it wasn't for all the empty houses and empty land, I mean, you see what happens with people that are homeless now. A lot of them, They move into like RVs and move into your the vans and things like that. And they just keep getting chased away and chased away and chased away. If you just leave them the heck alone and let them build something, you know? We could do so much better. Like, everyone could do so much better than the shanty homes of the, you know, Jamaica and Africa. And I mean, they could probably do better too in some ways, but if we just weren't being pushed around and robbed constantly, there's that's the only reason why such a thing as homelessness even exists. It's the cost of living, and it's the abuse of the citizenry. Of the people are just abused, and they're pushed around, and they're robbed, and they're beat down. They get a camper and someone hauls it away, takes everything they own, everything they have, and just hauls it to the dump. And these people who are supposed to be there to protect us, they walk up with their goons and their guns, and they just steal everything that these people have, these poor people that are reduced to living on the street. They just load everything into a fucking truck, into a garbage truck, and haul their home away to the dump with a straight look on their face, like they're not doing anything wrong. Just doing my job. Thieves, murderers, oppressors, robbers, villains. When does it ever stop, man? When's it ever gonna stop? Is this the world you want to leave for your children and your children's children? That the kind of world you want to leave, you know? What are you gonna say when God asks you, what have you done? What did you do that for? What are you going to tell him? You think you can hide? You think you can hide your face from God? When you sit before him and he asks you, why have you done this? What are you going to tell him? What are you going to tell him when your children, when you're up wherever you are in the afterlife, when you're spirit and you have to look down on the world? What would you say to your children, to your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren? How would you explain to them, why is the world so messed up? Why don't they have a home? Why are they hungry? Why are they in danger? Why are they pushed around and abused? Why don't they have rights anymore? Why? And the only thing you're going to be able to say, if you had something to do with making the world into the shit that it is now, you're going to have to look at yourself, and you're going to have to sit there, and you're going to have to know for all of eternity, as long as your spirit lives, you're going to know that you did that to your grandchildren. You did that. How do you think that's going to feel? All right, then.